We try to improvise here too. We try to do the best that we can, and I gotta say it. I'm pretty impressed. I am.
All right. All right, here we are. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Connecticut Challenge Senior Division. We're moments away from getting started here. In today's field, we've got David Mobley, Troy Callie, E.J. McDonald, Jeff Gavin, Anthony Livingston, Mike Bauman, Eddie Fernandez, Chris McLean, George Nagy, Daryl McCummings, Ernie Guimond, and Jay Gromick. We're going to start off with a round robin, as always. Cut the field down. And then we're going to crown ourselves a champion. Today I'm joined by Sean, Big Sean. Big Sean Johnson from the Open Division, along with Andy Gregor. Fortifies.
I'm just going to establish the last name because it is a hard name, right? If you look at that last name, there's a couple ways you could sling that one, but it's Gregoire.
Not Gargoyle?
Not Gargoyle.
For the longest time, I wanted to call you Andy Gargoyle.
Gregoire. Got to give a shout out to Kelly Rudney, my Canadian buddies, Ryan Gregnall. It is Canadian Gregoire.
Gregoire, are you perhaps related to Patrick Waugh?
Financially, that'd be. No, I am not.
All right. All right, so in slot 1, we've got David Mobley. In slot 2, Chris McLean. Slot 3 is George Nagy. And a trusty old ghost player in slot 4. What do you guys think the ghost is going to do? Any adjustments?
You know, I've never seen a ghost get an actual points. So I think the ghost slot will be very consistent today, not hitting any balls in play and getting 0 points. But
dude,
here we go. We got the win coming right to left. For the righties, that's going to be great for a draw. For the lefties, that's going to be great for their fade. So we got David Mobley. He absolutely crushes balls. He flights the ball like some people I've never seen flight the ball. He's very in tune with his clubs, and he's going to be hitting that draw all day down the right side.
Absolutely. Signature Mobley. All right. First numbers coming in here. We got 337 for Mobley, 300 for Chris McLean, and a 347 for George Nagy. So, good start by George.
I feel like George is going to have a heck of a day today.
It's nice to come out strong, for sure.
.347 on his first ball. That's pretty darn good. I like what I'm seeing from George.
Yeah, it's starting off similar to the amateur division earlier. Balls were somewhere around 340 to 350.
Yeah, about 350.
And it picked up a little towards the end.
Sure.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see them get closer to 500 as time goes on.
We had a couple 400 marks in the amateur division as well, right?
In the regional, yep. Yeah. Sure did. So it is possible.
We got some smooth swings on the tee box right now.
Absolutely. I'm 48 years old, and I'm amazed at these guys.
Oh, David got in the one right there.
Yep.
I think he liked that one. George is staring that one down.
Staring it down. Moved on.
We got tees flying, balls flying. Hopefully we don't see any clubs flying.
Mobley just barely getting that one off. Probably ain't going to go very far. So he got it off, but it was like a half swing. So
Mobley's a guy that won't always hit 6 balls. Is that correct?
He rarely hits 6 balls.
Rarely hits 6 balls.
Usually it's at least 4, sometimes 5. Yeah.
Do you think it's because he's that confident that those are good balls?
Well, I mean, Mobley's been around for a while, and they've done it many different ways. So the number of balls is kind of irrelevant for him. He tries to
just
put quality balls in play, more
shot.
So than just getting off 6 golf balls.
For sure.
So
quality balls win. It's not always about speed.
Got to get it in the grid.
Balls in the grid matter. especially pure balls in the grid, hitting the center of the face.
All right, so George took the set with 347, and then Molly was at 337, and Chris McLean at 336.
Wow.
So
Okay. So a tight little race right there.
tight, very sure.
So I had noticed something earlier. Maybe you guys can add me in on this. Some of the players actually put the ball in the front of the tee box, and some players put it in the back. Help me understand the difference. Why would a player take away that yardage from impact, right, where a ball could potentially win out that way?
So for me personally, when I'm on the tee box, I'm looking for the most solid ground to where my feet actually feel comfortable in the tee box.
Okay.
Sometimes these tee boxes get so worn out from people hitting in one spot that you don't feel comfortable in that spot because people start to dig out holes just like in a batter's box, right?
Sure.
And if I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to hit a good ball.
Makes sense. Sure.
So it's all a mind game of how you can get most comfortable in your slot.
Absolutely. Makes sense. Thanks.
So you'll see people shift left to right, forward and back, and some people are always going to put it forward because they think that's what's going to get them that extra yard.
Right.
But some people just want the comfortability.
And they feel like that secureness can give them the extra.
Exactly.
yards
Some people are going to
gonna
feel more
get.
comfortable in the
Right.
front of the tee box.
Makes sense.
All right. So Jeff Gavin still waiting to get a ball in from slot 1. Still waiting on Anthony Livingston to get one in as well. And Jay Gromnick is currently in the lead at 294 yards.
294 won't win this set. What do you think?
You would think, but we're still waiting on a few numbers to come back for Jeff and Anthony. So
What's Anthony's range? What's Anthony's range? Yeah. What's his?
I mean, they both got over 300 yards in them.
Oh yeah, I saw
just a
Andy
matter of whether they get
blasting
one in
some
play.
balls on the range earlier. Andy's a guy that can just flight the ball and put balls in play. He joined the Open Division in Canada and ended up taking first place in the first round just because he knew how to put balls in play. He didn't have to swing as hard as everyone else. He just knew that balls in play were going to win on the tight grid that we had out in Canada, and he did exactly what he wanted to do, put 3, 4, 5 balls in play each set, and it ended up working out very well for him.
Yeah.
All right. So Anthony's on the board at 328. Jeff Gavin is now on the board as well at 379. Jay improved to 305.
379. That's a very good ball.
Yeah, that's she's
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
That's doing it. He's swinging hard too.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was it.
He's got kind of that baseball, that lower body baseball swing.
Next up on the tee for their first set in slot 1, E.J. McDonald. Slot 2, Mike Bowman. Slot 3, Ernie Guimond. On deck to finish that set.
So at 379 is probably going to take first, I would imagine.
I'd hope so.
Followed by Anthony, 328 on his third ball. And then Jay coming in at 305. So earlier, we had 9 amateurs in the field.
Yep.
So the round robin and the math worked out to where there was no ghost players needed. So there was no 4th place in the amateurs. But with the amount of competitors in the senior division, we have ghost players. So when on the tee box for a ghost player, he automatically takes 4th place. So just by getting a ball in play, you get 3rd place points, which is huge in the round robin format.
Absolutely.
So
Going
all these players are aware of this. All these
I hope
players,
so.
right? All these
I
players are
honestly
aware
hope
of this.
so.
At
It
this
is-
level, you expect that these players already know this stuff.
Yeah.
If they don't,
Whether or not they add that into their game plan, I would say not, because nobody
Which
really,
is my question.
nobody really plans for 3rd place.
Sure.
But yeah,
So how often are you aware of your circumstances and you're playing towards your circumstances opposed to just, you know what, it does not matter. Every time I step in front of a ball, my job is to crush it, right? My job is to crush it as far as possible, and whatever happens, happens.
and for the most part, it's kind of how it has to be. Like you got to get out there and you got to put up a really good ball. very seldom. I mean, Sean can attest to this. Very seldom can you walk up there knowing that, I can, just smooth one out there and I'll be all right. Like, that doesn't come around very often. So
It doesn't, but in my world, and I'm not as experienced as most of these guys, smoothing one can optimize my ball better than swinging as hard as I can. So when I optimize a ball at more 140 swing speed compared to 150 swing speed, that ball can travel further, just because my 150 swing speed doesn't necessarily hit the center of the face and go and put the ball where I want it to with the correct ball flight. So I think it's something where, in my opinion, I try to smooth one into play, and then I go after it. But there's also days where I go out there and I'm feeling good enough that I have the confidence that I can swing as hard as I can at 6 balls and have the confidence that I'm going to optimize one of those balls, and it's going to be my biggest ball.
Sure. What do we got, Robbie?
nothing yet. Got a
No
bunch of-
numbers.
Nothing yet.
Got a bunch of
EJ
eggs.
McDonald in slot 1, Mike Bauman in slot 2, Ernie Gumand. Is that Gumand?
Guimond?
Guimond? I am a substitute teacher, but I still cannot pronounce names.
There's always disclaimers with that,
There
right?
is.
There's always disclaimers that we're covered.
There is.
We apologize in advance.
You never know where someone's last name, where their origin is from. Johnson's a pretty easy one, but
Gregoire is not.
Gregoire is not.
Yeah, dude, you're really average.
I'm very average.
Sean Johnson.
So I believe that once upon a time, back with my great ancestors, someone's son, their dad was named John, so their
John's
son
son.
became John's son.
Yes.
Little insight for the people out there.
That's an interesting
Wow.
perspective. Yeah, appreciate that.
Thank you.
That was a good shit.
We just,
I hope you enjoy that.
not every day you get a deep dive into Sean's family history,
A life in Sean Johnson's history. Do we have numbers?
We do. We currently have a tie right now between EJ McDonald at 324 and Ernie Guimond at 324. Mike's still trying to get one in play.
Win still in play, right to left?
Right to left.
Right to left.
It's picking up and dying down, picking
Mhm.
up and dying down, and that's what we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
When you step back from the ball, that's something you take into consideration what the wind is doing.
Okay. So there is strategy within that.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
If the wind's blowing right to left, you got to hit that draw. If you're playing a fade into right to left wind, that ball's not going to carry as far as you want it to carry because you're fighting against the wind instead of playing with the wind. And as you can imagine, playing into the wind is not to your advantage. Playing with the wind is where your advantage is going to be.
Sorry about the fans honking by. Everyone loves the PLDA event. Did you hear that?
Yeah, man, we got millions of fans.
Millions of fans tune in,
There's 18 million watching on YouTube right now, so
and they
Pretty good
should.
number.
shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
And
Shout
gals.
out to those 18 mil.
Spread the love on the 18 mil.
All right, Robbie, who we got on the tee box?
Some big hitters.
Some big hitters here.
In slot 2's Eddie Fernandez. He's very well known throughout the long drive community.
Dude's
World
biceps are
champ.
huge. He's flexing today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know about how they feel because, they're veterans of the sport and all. But you would think that Eddie would strike a little intimidation factor in. Anytime you're swinging 150 miles an hour, you kind of raise people's eyebrows. But when you're in the senior division and you're still putting up 150 miles an hour, it's like, holy cow.
Oh, yeah. People know they got to hit a good ball against it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So we got Bobby Peterson in slot 1, Eddie Fernandez in slot 2, and Daryl McCummins in slot 3. And, of course, our ghost in slot 4.
Good to see Bobby in the tee box.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen him in there for a little
Pretty sure
while.
that is a last-minute entry.
Yeah, so we have a last-minute entry from Bobby Peterson. We had someone just not show up today.
Who was that?
Troy Cali.
Troy had to back out? Okay.
Troy DJ Cali. So we got Bobby Pearson.
Troy,
coming
hope you
in.
better.
Bobby Pearson's a guy who who knows how to swing the golf club. He's been doing this for a very long time and teaches people how to hit the golf ball. So as you can imagine, he can strike a golf ball.
Bobby.
People are liking that one from Bobby in the crowd.
He just
Ooh,
launched
that's a
one.
big sound from Fast Eddie right there. Fast Eddie's part of a new YouTube series, Bombs and Bombshells. It's him, Kyle Berkshire. A guy named Bobby, who is a first overall pick in the MLB draft, and 3 supermodels. So check out their YouTube series, Bombs and Bombshells. I'm sure it'll be a good watch, and I think they're going to have some great superstars coming on to play with them, such as DJ Khaled and people like that. So they're making their YouTube series. Hopefully it blows up. So go subscribe. And they should have some fun stuff to watch.
I think Bobby referred to himself as the high school graduate of the group. So
The high school
really,
graduate.
yeah,
That's
really
right.
tooting his own horn there.
That's right. He also runs a
very nice Instagram.
very nice
Long dot
Instagram.
Very
drivers.
nice Instagram.
Long dot drivers.
Very informative.
I heart long
Very
drives.
informative.
Yes.
I've found a lot of
Bringing you
useful
all the
information
latest
on there.
in the golf world.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, all the latest in the long drive world. It's a great page if you want to go watch some dudes and some
Cars and
some
Right.
just some bombs.
Yeah.
From men and women.
A little over a minute, or a little less than a minute left on the clock. Currently, we've got Bobby Peterson in first place with 318 yards, followed by Daryl McCummings at 281. Eddie's still trying to get a number on the board.
I'm sure he's got one out there.
Bobby's showing us how it's done.
Bobby's gotten faster as the set's gone on.
Bobby's taking some deep breaths right now,
Oh
though.
man.
It's all about pacing yourself, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
You can see Bobby looking around. See, Bobby's one of those guys that's going to play to his circumstances.
Sure.
So he's checking the wind, seeing what's going on, and he's going to hit a ball for
10
the
seconds.
most optimal ball flight.
Bobby, you like that one. Look at that face.
Eddie tried to smooth one right there. He shook his head, but the people are going crazy for him.
And the Ghost 4 channel goes down.
Ladies and gentlemen, come to the team now. Getting us started on round 2. We've got Mike Bowman in slot 1. Jeff Gavin in slot 2.
Wind picked up substantially.
Oh yeah, wind's blowing.
Wind's
now.
blowing now.
It's more diagonal to the left corner of the grid now,
Yeah.
but it's still right to left.
But it picked up.
But it picked up all
Those
right.
flags are moving right now.
Definitely over 10 miles per hour.
All right, so we got a little drama here. Eddie coming in with a 6th ball, taking first place at 363 yards, followed by Bobby Peterson at 351,
Ooh.
and Daryl McCummings at 314.
Okay.
That's a good set right there.
Bobby P, he's got to last. Right? Look at him. He's got his tongue out.
Oh yeah, panting like a dog.
Yeah.
He's got to take a seat after that
Yeah.
set.
He's got to have someone fan him off. Get that man some Gatorade.
Oh yeah.
Players, just a reminder that you must tee the ball up behind.
Gatorade recovery.
Yep.
That's the best
No
Gatorade
cheating.
for you, if anyone was wondering.
In the tee box, including
The regular Gatorade, zero
Hello,
Gatorade,
cannot have anything
Gatorade electrolytes, all of that's great. But if you want the healthiest, it's going to be the Gatorade recovery.
So
I found that out. I'm a big, I'm not sure if it's pronounced yucca or yucca. I believe it's probably yucca because that's an actual plant. But it's something where you can go into grocery stores and scan items, and it'll tell you exactly how healthy that is for you. Red, orange, or green dot next to it. And I found that the Gatorade Recovery is the best one for you out of all of them.
good. Well, Bobby needs some,
I like this lefty right here.
right?
Who is that, George?
George Nagy.
George Nagy. So usually you can swing a little harder when you're playing that fade. and he gets to play it all day with this wind. So we're going to see what he can do. Good ball there by George. Jeff Gavin, he's got some history in the sport, huh?
Yeah. Another champion.
World champion.
Another champion.
From Canada, correct?
From up north, yes, sir.
Way up north, eh? Up in the Great White North, eh?
What event did he take?
I'm sorry?
Jeff Gavin, right?
Jeff Gavin, yes, sir.
Another guy putting up some scary speeds.
Yes. He swings it. He's a big guy, too.
Yeah, sure.
You can see the power in a lot of people's legs or their biceps. It's one or the other.
That swing's ridiculous.
All right.
Ooh.
Yep.
George likes that one. He
Yeah.
yelled
Very
at it.
pleased.
That was right down the middle. Got a good bounce, too.
All right, so we got 342 from Mike Bauman, 351 from Jeff. Still waiting on the callback for George.
George hit that one hard. I didn't see where it went.
Yeah, I think it was Obi right.
I don't know if he liked it or not.
Still waiting on the number for George. The anticipation is killing me.
Let's get some numbers out there, people.
Less than 10 seconds left.
We got a partly cloudy day, so some balls are easier to see than others. If you
Right.
put a blue ball in the clouds, you can see it very well. If you put it in the openings in the blue sky, you can't see it at all.
It's funny, the blue balls work the best on like overcast days.
Yeah, yeah.
Like kind of light up.
And the yellow balls you can barely see on overcast days.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword, absolutely.
Ooh, on his sixth ball, Jeff Gavin comes in at 372 yards.
Golly.
Followed by looks like it's going to be Mike Bauman, second, 342. Still waiting on his final two balls. And still waiting on George's last two as well, but he's currently at 334.
That's two balls over 370 for Jeff Gavin, huh?
Yep.
Oh, he's feeling good today. Couple wins for him. He should be moving on easily if he keeps this rolling. Hopefully I didn't just jinx him.
Yeah, so Jeff takes first, followed by Mike, and then George. All right, we'll get the scoreboard up here for a second. Give you a little recap of what happened in the first round, or the first set, should I say. This is all technically the first round. Wins from Jeff, Eddie, George, and Mike Bauman. So with his two wins, Jeff goes to 400 points. Mike is at 300, and George Nagy at 250. And the other guys are patiently waiting for their second set. We got a lot of hitting today. That's why you see a lot of these guys really pacing themselves, really paying attention to the clock.
Yep.
We're going to be out
It's
here
still
for a while.
hot. You might get a nice breeze, but it's still
toasty,
hot.
all right. It's toasty.
So slot 1, you got Anthony Livingston. And then slot 2, E.J. McDonald. Slot 4, Daryl McCummings. Yeah? That's the next group, right?
I believe so. That is correct.
Ghost looking strong in slot 3.
Putting up,
Obi as usual.
putting up 0 points all the time.
Looks
Most
like the grid's
consistent
clear.
long driver out there.
For sure, without
Absolutely.
question. To the decimal points.
Grid's clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the tee now for their second set, we have Anthony Livingston, E.J. McDonald, and Daryl McCummings. Gentlemen, that grid is clear. Fire away.
All right.
Have you seen a
Daryl's gonna be
power
first.
slot yet today, Robbie? Have you seen a slot that's just ended up going farther than most slots?
Not really. I would think as I'm left-handed, but from a right-handed perspective, you would think it's slot 1, slot 2 is kind of the preferred because you can aim across the grid to the back right corner and just let it turn over. So I feel like if I had to pick, maybe slot 1, slot 2, somewhere in there.
How about for the lefties? Probably slot 4.
Honestly, if I were hitting today, I would still be on the. Hopefully in slot 1, I'd be aiming to the back right corner and trying to let it turn over to the left.
Okay.
And just hope the power fade works out.
For sure.
I haven't seen any marks yet.
Yeah, still waiting on numbers.
Ooh, and they hit a clean one right there. That one should go a ways for him.
All right, so they're coming in now. EJ is currently at 332. Anthony Livingston at 328. And
Anthony
we
has
still don't
2
have
balls in.
any callbacks for Daryl yet.
That ghost player's crushing it right now. Fifth ball for EJ. That's high out of bounds.
Anthony with another good one right there. He stared that one down for
Looked
a
like
second.
Anthony got one in. And Daryl's last ball didn't make it. 30 seconds left. I think both guys are assessing their situation right now. Anthony's going to tee off first. And I just got bit by the blue ball.
Anthony did not like his last ball.
Another miss hit from Daryl.
That was a tough run.
Another close one. Currently sitting at 332. Anthony over EJ.
They're going to have to go out there and measure those ones just to make sure one's longer than the other.
Still waiting to see what Daryl's fourth ball was. I know his fifth and sixth were miss hits. Still waiting to see what happened with his fifth or fourth, excuse me.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen the seniors division many times. Is Daryl a consistent competitor out here?
I mean, more so now than in the past. But Daryl's been around for a while. It's nice to see him out competing.
Nice. Good for him.
But if you're asking about number of events, no, this is not his first.
Okay.
So Anthony confirmed 333. Okay. 286 for Daryl, so he is going to get points.
So Daryl did put one in there. That's
At
what I like to
286.
Yeah, he had a straight shot. That was it.
That'll
So
help
we're
him
just
keep going
waiting
right there.
Just waiting for the confirmations for EJ.
On deck to finish off the second set, Eddie Fernandez, David Mobley, and Jay Gromack.
So we got third group here. In slot 1, Chris McClain. Slot 2, Bobby Pearson. Slot 3, the infamous Ghost. And slot 4, Ernie Gumand.
Results of that last set, Anthony Livingston coming in 333 yards, followed right behind by EJ McDonald, 332.
Hey, listen.
Daryl McCummings,
Okay.
286.
We can let it go.
14 after their second set.
Apologies if I've not been talking loud enough.
Yeah, man.
I think we need to bring some excitement here. Here comes Bobby.
bring some
First
excitement.
ball up. Here
Come
we
on,
go.
Bobby.
Come on, Bobby.
Bang long.
Oh.
Oh, Bobby's going to put that in play.
Down there.
And that's in the middle of the grid for Bobby. It looked like about a 320, 340 shot.
Ooh, 320, 340. You're just going to call it like that?
I am.
Oh, wow.
Nostradamus.
I am. I'm
For the
gonna
record,
try-
those are not pit vipers. They are bang longs.
Bang long.
Bang longs.
They
I'm
are,
never going to try to catch.
Not the price of pit vipers,
They're cheaper.
but they look just as good, if not better.
He's got one to match every color in his wardrobe.
Every single wardrobe
I
color.
just saw another Bobby ball, and I'm going to say that one's about 300.
Your numbers were right. They just weren't in the correct order. What you said was 340 was 304.
Okay.
So-
I was off by a couple.
But he then improved with a 309.
It's
so.
just a little
okay.
dyslexia. We're all right, though.
Listen, I don't have my glasses. Leave me alone.
You need some bang longs.
I need some. Shout out.
EJ's, I'm sorry. Ernie's playing with the pink shaft. I like the pink shaft.
I'm pretty sure that's
It looks-
purple.
Is that purple?
It looks purple to me.
Oh, that's the sunglasses. All right. Ernie playing with the purple
I
shaft.
love this kid.
If you ask me, it makes him look faster. Some colors just look
Bobby
faster
watching
than
that
others.
last one. He's
Bobby's
going to
playing
sneak in
that,
on the right-hand side.
Bobby's playing that Callaway Rogue head. Ooh, we got wind shift. It's a little in our face now. And it shifted again right to left.
All right.
So this is what I'm telling you, people, is that this wind can shift at any second. So
big
after
change.
you hit a ball, you need to step back and take a peek at what the conditions are looking like so that you can optimize your next shot and play with the wind instead of
Bobby's
against the
staring
wind.
it down.
All right. So currently, as it sits right now, Ernie's in first at 321, followed by Bobby Peterson at 309, and Chris McLean at 280.
They're at a
Ooh,
306,
Bobby
and
tried to hit one right there.
Bobby wanted
Wow.
to put everything into that with a little bit of frustration. What do we got?
We got a nice little crowd out here today.
I was just about to
Even
say
though-
that.
Even
A lot of
though,
people standing
we
up.
don't have much shade. They're okay with it. They're gonna let that sun beat down on their skin. It's summertime. They need the tan.
It's good to see people out here,
Yeah,
showing some
absolutely.
support. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a growing sport, right?
EJ McDonald and Eddie Fernandez.
All right, we got some numbers coming in.
Bobby at 328.
Results in that last set. Bobby Peterson coming in 300.
Bobby,
Bobby.
taking it. Taking it with 328.
321 and Chris McLean 292.
All right.
We got a 379. Doable again?
We've got a pretty dry grid out there.
Yeah. The right side was very, very dry.
Very dry.
Left side gets a little bit of irrigation, but the right side's up on the hill, so it's a lot drier.
So I would like to think everyone's trying to play the ball to the right side. If you're not, you're probably not going to hit the ball as far as everyone else.
Yeah.
Now, these grids are, I would never say perfect. So there is some luck to it in spots that you hit. You could hit a rock, and it could go left. It could go right. It could go
Straight down the
farther
grid?
straight, and it could also come back to you.
Yeah,
it
David
could
yelling.
It could hit a grassy spot and not get as much roll. You could hit a dirt spot and see the dirt flying 10 feet in the air, and you know that ball's going to roll a little bit further.
David's got a ball in play. Definitely, for sure, right down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like, what do we have on the end here?
David's a guy who's going to put a lot of balls in play.
339 was his first ball.
From Mobley?
Yep.
Attaboy Mobley.
He's got a ball in play as well.
So back to your point, Sean. Yeah. Basically.
Absolutely.
You know, and that really is the premium on putting balls in play like what Mobley does. Because, like you said, it does help your chances.
It helps your chances a lot, especially when you've got a hot grid. If you can hit one in the hot spot 4 or 5 times, you know one of those is going to roll out farther than the other, and that's just going to optimize your chances for a better ball.
Even in terms of like undulation and things like that, small heels inside the grid, it's another game within the game. That if you know where those spots are,
Eddie just
you're
got a hold of
hitting
one.
that.
Oh yeah, you could see that from Jacob Galladay this morning. He's the guy that can flight the ball in the regionals, and he knew how to hit the right side of the grid, and he put some pretty far out there this morning, huh?
So Eddie's currently at 369,
Yeah, he just got a hold
good
of that
number
last
right
followed
there.
by Mobley at 346, and Jay Gromick here at 300.
David Mobley, 5-time champion. People say it's 2, but he says it's 5.
Oh, with a little finger wave. Not today, Mutombo.
Jay in the 4 slots pretty smooth over here.
And the clock was off, so that last one for Mobley's not going to count. So as it looks, he's at 346.
It's interesting to see how high people tee the ball. Mobley's a guy that is going to tee the ball very low, and I assume that's for better ball striking and more consistent ball striking, while Fast Eddie in slot 1 is teeing the ball up 3, maybe 4 inches
On a pencil.
on a pencil. Oh, yeah, bud. And it's just interesting to see different ball flights and how people are going to optimize their shot and their swing. So we got Fast Eddie coming over here. Let's see if we can get some numbers.
They got to call him Eddie
Yeah,
Guns.
see if he'll share a little bit of that data he's collecting.
They got to call him Eddie Guns.
Eddie Guns.
Eddie Guns.
So that last swing from Fast Eddie, 147.9 club head speed, 209 ball speed, with a 343 carry and a 363 total. It was a little spinny, but I'm sure he's going to get that down in this round. We're going to get some TrackMan numbers from Fast Eddie right here. Little in the heel, and it was still 209, Fast Eddie said. 3,100 spin. He's going to get that down right here. Yeah, he's going to hit the center of the face a few times right here.
Results in that last set, Eddie Fernandez, 369 yards, followed by David Mobley, 346. Jay Gromick, 300 even.
So Fast Eddie, even though he hit that one in the heel, it still went because he's got some power in those biceps. That's all I got to say. A lot of power in those biceps.
That grid is clear. Fire away.
Oh, that is a good ball from Fast Eddie right there, right down the middle, drawn to the left side. We got 146 club head speed, 211 ball speed, and he got that spin down to 2,600, and that carried about 10 yards further at 353, rolling out to 376.
Eddie looks strong today. He really does.
Oh, that was a big ball from Fast Eddie right there. Started it down the right line, drew it back about right center, and you could see that ball just rolling. 145 club head speed, 210 ball speed. That had to roll farther than 375. I'm not sure how far, but it was a good one.
I just heard a 400 mark.
That would not surprise me. And yeah, you were correct.
I heard a 400 mark.
402 for Eddie
And he just
Fernandez.
got this last one. You know that's going somewhere too.
George Nagy in second at 339, and EJ at 331.
4.
But yeah, our first ball over 400 yards.
That's what I'm
4.
talking about.
Eddie
goes.
Fernandez. All right, so George Nagy now at 346. EJ still rocking the 331. He's got one ball left. Plenty of time, 20 seconds. And Eddie has two balls left, but I doubt he'll get number 6 off.
Considering we got 11 seconds left.
He may not.
I don't think he needs to get the 6th ball off. I don't think he even cares if he gets
No.
this
He's gonna
ball
take a
off.
crack at it.
5th ball just smoothed it down the middle. A little draw to the left side. But it was a very good ball.
Yeah.
We'll see if it stays in play or not.
All right. 402. Wow.
Is that the biggest ball of the day out of everyone?
No.
No, not
Okay.
of the day. We had a
408.
Yeah, 408 or something like that.
408 from who?
regionals. That was
Line.
Was that from Jeremy Nowak?
Jeremy had one, and I think Josh, Jacob
Galladay.
Galladay.
Okay.
All right, so
All right, Mr.
Scoreboard here.
Peterson in slot 2.
$1,000 bounty at 402 yards. Ernie Fernandez.
All right, so we're in the third set. We're actually in the second group of the third set. So not quite halfway through round 1.
It's still hot out here.
So
Very true.
we have a bonus for the weekend, correct?
I think
Is
that
it-
bonus was just met. Did I just
So-
hear that?
I don't know
what's
if
the-
they've changed it. I know earlier it was it's like $1,000 gift certificate to Chris Cody's Golf Shop for a first ball out the back of the grid, which is
How far is the grid?
the grid ends at like 433 yards.
Okay. So we get some downwind conditions that could absolutely be met.
Absolutely happened.
Yeah,
Tomorrow, we got some very big hitters that could meet that with no wind,
I don't know, man.
but they'd have to get a hot one down the right side.
That's a long ways.
It'd have to be a hot one. Now, in Colorado, that would be very achievable. But we're in Connecticut, not Colorado.
So, and out the back of the grid is just an empty field. And just for fun, I put the 440 sign out there in the dirt.
Mike Bowman's going to have a ball in play. I'm going to give it a 310, 315. If it stayed in.
So we got a tough tee box. It's extremely tough.
Looks like Bobby's
People
got
are
one.
literally, they should be using a drill to put
Okay,
their tee
I
in
was
the
off.
ground. There's
like
some
Bobby's got
people
one in play.
struggling. There's some people struggling to get the tee in the ground.
Bobby just knocked one in play. I'm going to say about 320.
Still waiting on that number to come back.
Bobby, 305.
Right now we have Mike Bauman at 332. Bobby Peterson just came up on board at 305.
Who just dropped a bomb at 361.
Oh,
361 yards.
Boom.
he's
That's
wearing
his
the visor.
That's his second ball.
He's I like the visor look. Not everyone has the confidence to wear a visor,
Yeah, what,
but he absolutely does, and you can see the confidence with that over 360-yard drive.
what are these rumors of you going to a visor?
I could very possibly be going to a visor tomorrow.
There's a
If
surprise with that.
If I do,
There's a surprise with that. There's a surprise with that.
if I
Don't-
do, there is a surprise.
Yeah,
with that
don't
visor
let that
coming.
out yet,
I
man.
won't
You
ruin
can't.
it. I won't ruin it, but yeah, it's gonna be looking flowy. Let's just say that.
You got Bobby on his fifth ball at 340. Jay got on the board at 305. Still waiting on Mike's last two. And that ghost player is completely zeroed out. Looks like Jay got 305 twice.
In slot 1, Ernie Guimond. In slot 3, David Mobley. In slot 4, Anthony Livingston. On deck to finish off set 3, Daryl McCummings, Jeff Gavin, and Chris McLean.
Still waiting on the last two numbers for Mike. Still waiting on the last two numbers for Mike. But Bobby finished out at 340. Jay at 305.
Any
Who do we
other
get?
numbers?
I'm waiting on the last two, but
Okay.
who do we got coming up?
Folks, sometimes it does take a second to get numbers.
From the grid.
We got ball watchers out there chasing balls, and just like you can't always see a ball off the tee box, you can't always see it in the grass. So they're doing their absolute best to make sure we get the correct numbers. So
Oh,
what we
Mike
got?
comes in at 376.
There we go.
Doesn't change the outcome as he was already in first place.
That's okay.
But that's
But it's
still a
still,
big
listen,
ball.
we're talking 350, right, to win?
We do have
Well,
performance
350 to
bonuses, and we have
been the
performance
average.
bonuses.
Sure.
Ooh, performance bonuses this weekend. What does a performance bonus entail, Robbie?
So there's 3 different categories: longest ball of the round robin. Then there's most balls in play out of the 30 times that they hit. And then there's best cumulative set. So you take up all the drives in play for any particular set. So it's the total yardage.
So that's the total you said?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have 5 balls at 330 yards, it would be the total yardage of those 5 balls.
Correct.
So 5 times 330.
Correct.
Ernie, David, Anthony. Do the lineup.
So here we go. We got group 3 of our third set. Ernie Goomand in slot 1. Our ghost in slot 2, who will be driving the ball 0 yards again. David Mobley in slot 3, and Anthony Livingston in slot 4.
Oh, David comes in at 353 for his first ball.
Ooh, David likes that one. I'm telling you, David is a guy who flights the ball. It's like you'll see every single ball with the same ball flight. It's rare that he shanks one or tops one or anything like that.
He's got a consistent schedule routine, if you will.
He's a meditator, is what he says.
Oh, you can see it. You can see it when he starts off.
It means he's in tune with himself. So he's in tune with himself, which in turn makes him in tune with his clubs, which in turn makes for big balls.
Consistency. Well, we talked about consistency, right? Ball, same flight path, same swing. It starts before that.
Mobley didn't like that one. That's rare.
Ernie yet to put in any
I
numbers.
bet you it was still in play, though.
Anthony's first 2 balls are OB. David's the only number on the board right now.
Anthony with a good one right there.
Yeah, Ant just had a. All right, so we got a couple marks. Anthony had 331 on his 3rd ball and 333 on his 4th ball. And David looks like he just pushed that one out a little too far left. Ernie's on the board at 323 on his 4th ball, 316 on his 5th.
Looks to me like Anthony's using that D10 shaft. It flexes a little more than the rest, more of like a regular flex, and that'll in turn give you a little more club head speed.
So David leaves the ball on the table, but it didn't matter because he took the set at 353.
We're going to see if that remains.
It's going to stick. Looks like Anthony's best ball was 333. Ernie at 323.
On deck to start set 4 will be George Nagy, Anthony Livingston, and Bobby Peterson.
All right, so still waiting to hear the announcement of the longest ball from that set, but I believe David's going to take it.
David came in at his last ball at 364.
364.
Yep.
See, that's what I mean. He just optimizes his shots and gets better and better.
He didn't even get the last ball in.
Yep. David Mobley's going to take that set. We're going to dedicate that set to his wife, Lori
Sure, yeah.
Mobley.
Hope he fit-
She
yeah.
just went through her first round of chemo, and we're all praying and hoping for a speedy recovery for her.
Yeah, we hope you get better.
Quick update on the scoreboard here. So Eddie going win. Have 600 points. Mike Bauman is at 500. Jeff Gavin, David Mobley, Bobby Peterson, and Anthony Livingston all at 400 points. Jeff Gavin's on the tee box now. So all he's got to do is get a ball in play, and he'll go up. But here we go.
Here we go. Group 4, set 3. We got Daryl in slot 1, our ghost in slot 2, Jeff Gavin in slot 3, and Chris McLean in slot 4. Is that McLean or McLean? McLean.
Clean.
Extremely sorry, McLean.
All right, we don't have any marks yet,
Ooh,
but
Jeff
Jeff
likes
just
that one.
likes that one.
And we're getting a
Crushed.
reaction there.
Sometimes
Absolutely.
you don't get reactions from people, but when I see a reaction, I know it's a good ball.
That's what I love about long drive, man. Let it out.
We got
Let
some
it out.
characters.
We got some characters. Some guys that love to yell. Some guys just, hang out.
Yeah, and
Oh.
just going off of statistics, if your name happens to be Zach, you're more likely to show emotion on the tee box.
That's fair. I've met plenty of Zachs in the sport of long drive, and they all get pumped.
What do you think's on his playlist?
Whatever makes you want to bang your head into a wall.
So I had this conversation with Sean. I wanted to know what was on his playlist before he was at an event. And he told me groovy music. Groovy music.
I like to groove.
Things that kept him nice and relaxed. Like, okay, and this is a true story. I 100% had no idea it was the complete opposite, right? Getting into the sport and learning the sport, I had no idea that your mindset is to be more relaxed, right?
For sure.
My mindset was, and hang on one second. So Chris McLean comes in at 322 on his first ball, 335 on his second ball. I don't have any marks for Daryl or Jeff yet. I think the reason why I don't have any marks for Jeff is I think he hit a bomb.
I think he hit it past the ball callers, and it's going to take a minute for them to get back to that ball.
Then you got Chris at another one at 302. Looks like he's about to hit his last ball.
But yes, as you're saying, Andy, you would think a lot of these guys listen to hard rock, rap, things that pump them up. But in retrospect, a lot of these guys are listening to things that get them in the groove and
Yeah, and I got
calm them down.
We have a groove, right? Jeff Gavin just came in at 402.
Ooh!
Boom! Hello, Jeff Gavin.
That's what I like to hear.
And
Second
his ball
ball.
before that was a 398, so he's heating
man.
up.
Jeff is in a groove.
He's got
today.
some energy.
I didn't jinx
He's
him.
got some energy.
I didn't jinx him.
No, but he's got some. What's on the playlist?
Oh yeah.
So he'll go to 600 points, as you can see there. And it looks like that's everybody in round 3. So we're going to get things started here with set 4. 2 more times on the tee box for each player to get these points. I'm going to make a prediction and say that you need 450 to get in to the next round.
450 points.
Yeah.
That's very fair. That's
You're the
very fair.
mathematician on this squad.
We
I'm gonna
haven't
leave that
had many
stuff up
people
to you.
going. We haven't had many people going out of bounds. So set 4 here to start us off. Group 1, we got our Ghost in slot 1, George Nagy in slot 2, Andy Livingston in slot 3, and Bobby Pearson in slot 4. It's interesting to see the different heads that people use on their clubs. I believe we have 3 different heads on the tee box right now. We have a Callaway Rogue in slot 4, an Epic Speed in slot 3, and I'm not sure what that is in slot 2, but it's definitely different from everyone else's. Did Bobby like that one?
Yeah, he liked that one, and there's a reason for it. It was in play. I don't think he's going to get
Gotta
a long.
love a ball in play.
He's not going to get a big number out of it, but it was definitely a play. That one's OB left, though. And it caused him to change his clubs.
So that's a strategy, too, is some people will use a stiffer shaft to
Yeah.
start out. Once they hit that good ball, they'll switch to a more softer shaft, which will in turn help them get more club head speed, and they're just looking for a pierce ball.
Sure, makes sense. So Bobby's first ball was 332, followed up by Anthony Livingston's at 333 on the first ball.
Okay.
Ghost player crushing it over there at zeros, and George yet to get on the board. Oh, Anthony comes in with a 361 on the second ball.
Wow, Anthony. That's what I'm talking about.
Consistent marks. Bobby on his second and his third ball, no marks.
And he's a good ball striker, too. He's one of those guys that hits the center of the face a lot. Oh, come on from Bobby, he said.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That's definitely a Southern.
All right,
Really appreciate
Bobby,
that.
Bobby just broke a tee trying to put it into the ground.
Anthony's third ball is a mark at 355.
I'm telling you, Anthony's one of those guys that just
He's
hits
on.
the
He's dropping
grid.
darts right now.
Ooh, did Bobby like that one?
Bobby's fifth ball looks like it's going to be a little. I'm not going to call that one.
Give me a ball flight from George Nagy right here. Watch this 6 ball for me.
Bobby's pooped. Bobby's pooped out. Low.
Low fade or draw?
Oh,
Draw.
George coming in with a 379.
Wow. Balls are they're
Three.
going further. As the day has continued, balls are going further.
Yeah, Anthony. Five marks.
I would say the ground has dried out since the day began, but it was already so dry that I don't know if it could dry out anymore.
In slot 2, Jay Gromick. In slot 3, Chris McLean. In slot 4,
George Nagy takes this one at 379, Robbie.
Ernie Guimond.
That is correct. 379 yards. Anthony Livingston
Let's talk about it.
putting up a bid for best set, going 5 out of 6 balls there.
5 out of 6.
Okay, how hard is it with
What was
wind
his
conditions
low?
like this?
What was his lowest ball?
333.
333. That's pretty.
That's a good one.
Putting
That's
5
a good
balls
set.
over 333. That's
And
very
these
impressive.
How hard is it to do when it's windy like this? Seriously.
It's when it's windy, everything changes. Because now your ball flight is going to change with that wind.
Sure.
But if you're experienced, you're going to use that wind to your advantage.
Sure. Oh, the crowd here today is outstanding. Like
At least 47,000 people in the house.
there's easily 20.
Gentlemen, that grid is clear. Fire away.
Here we go. Jay
All right,
Gromick
so-
in 2, Chris McLean in 3, and EJ in 4. Looks like EJ got into that last one. Into that hit.
Wow. In slot 2, Jay, I think he hit that ball off of the ground.
It fell off the tee right
I
there,
think it
right there
fell
at
off
impact.
the
Yeah,
tee, and he literally hit it off of the ground.
that's unfortunate.
Now, my eyes do deceive me sometimes, but I think that's what I just saw.
EJ got that one for a mark. Jay comes in at 306. Jay's in at 306 on his first ball. EJ comes in at 351 on his first ball.
All right, we're getting numbers faster now. That's what I like to hear.
EJ at 351, Jay at
It's
306.
a fortified technology thing.
Fortified technology. the
Listen, we
best
really
internet
want
out there.
EJ marked his second ball at 336. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but
Wow, I just saw a big orange ball. Big orange ball
On who?
rolling down the middle of the grid.
Chris?
All right, so Chris's first ball was in. a little behind on his numbers, but he is in the grid at 282 right now. So
EJ's got 2 351s right now. His first ball and his third ball.
Oh, this is a groove right here we got playing on the radio. I think some bigger balls are coming.
You're a music guy, huh?
Yeah, great music from the man, the myth, the legend over there. Seamus.
Seabass.
You're the only one.
EJ's last ball, he could mark 5. So EJ's on for 5. Look at these guys. They're sharpshooters, man. EJ's mark 351, 336, 351, 287,
I'm
359.
telling you, yardages are picking up. The wind hasn't changed that much, but we've had brief moments of some big blows.
The wind's pretty heavy about it. It's knocking the table over.
And the wind is one of those things. You might not feel it as much on the tee box because we do have some trees behind us, but out there it could be blowing 5-10 miles an hour more.
Sure. Well, I can tell you it didn't affect EJ because he marked on all 6 balls.
He put all 6 balls in?
351, 336, 351, 287, 359, and 338. Thank you. Come again.
Answers right back.
That's going to be, right now, that's got to
And
be
Jay marks as well.
Biggest set.
Jay, same thing. 306, 292, 299, 330, 315, and 329.
Wow.
Thank you. Come again.
That's consistent balls in
Talent,
play right there.
right? Talent.
That's a talent.
That's
a talent that some of the faster swingers don't have.
Which I don't think a lot of people understand what it's like to be at that.
No. A lot of people don't understand that putting 6 balls in play, number 1, is very impressive. Number 2, it's
Jeff trying to use an extra ball?
So we've got Jeff setting up
7
here
orange balls
with 8
play right now.
balls next
Jeff
to his.
feels like once you get to the senior division, you get a mulligan.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the tee now for their fourth set. Ernie Guimond, Eddie Fernandez.
I'm going to save this. Jeff Gavin just nominated
Jeff Gavin just
himself
threw you
as
a ball.
Yeah.
We got to keep that. We'll get him to sign that.
Jeff Gavin, if he wins, has to sign that ball for me.
That's going on the shelf.
Eddie with a blast. And Jeff says, you know what? I got you, bro. I'm coming right at you. Both going to mark big.
So 2 big balls to start us out. We're going to see which one was actually further. Really?
Ernie's on the board at 309 with his first ball.
Oh, Jeff just swung
got
hard
all
at
of
that
that.
one, but I don't think he liked it.
All right, so Eddie Fernandez, 389. Jeff Gavin, 377.
Jeff's first ball was 377. Yes, sir.
The people out here like Eddie. We've got some
He's a
some
fan
fans
favorite, man.
cheering on for Eddie Fernandez.
Dude, how old is this guy? He's jacked.
I don't know. He's got to be younger than 45 because those biceps do not say over
Right?
45.
He's 51. 51 years old.
51 years old, and he's
yards.
got bigger biceps than I do.
Yes, sir. You got to get to the gym.
That's not saying much. I mean,
It's really not saying much.
pretty sure
I-
my niece has bigger biceps than you do.
I am
She's
more
like
of a
6.
Gumby. A lot of people
Oh,
have
Eddie,
bigger
he
calves.
drops a 405.
405. So Eddie's chasing that long ball of the weekend. Absolutely.
So does he get another $1,000 from the house?
So Eddie's actually using regular tees instead of tornado tees. So that could have been another 4 yards further if he used a tornado tee there.
Yes.
Nice plug, buddy.
Proven statistics, rocket science.
We're talking science here, people.
Shout out to John Hartline and the Tornado Tees.
Jeff likes that one. Go.
Jeff yelling at this one.
Jeff is laughing at that one. He hit it so well, he's laughing at it.
Ernie's done at 309. That's okay. Eddie's and Jeff. What do we have for final numbers?
Oh, the anticipation.
You know,
It's killer.
the music's good.
What do you think? Did Jeff get one over 400
I don't
that
think
round?
Jeff's going to beat 405. Absolutely not.
That's a big ball. 405 is a big ball.
405, and the wind was starting to blow right to left out. So Eddie's fifth ball was 384. Jeff Gavin's last ball was 382. Eddie Fernandez takes it at 405. Jeff Gavin at 382. Next group coming up. Daryl McCummings in 2. Mike Bauman in 3. And David Mobley.
So that is our new longest drive of the day for the senior division, 405 yards.
Boom. Thank you.
That's a big ball. I mean, we're talking over 400
51
yards.
years old.
51 years old, over 400 yards. That's why he is a part of the Bombs and Bombshells right there, folks.
Colton.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the tee now to finish off this fourth set, Daryl McCummings, Mike Bowman, and David Mobley. Gentlemen, that grid is clear. Fire away.
Eddie's walking away from the tee box with some swag. I mean, he's got a little more pep in his step right now. All right, David Mobley, slot 4.
405 is a big number to walk away with.
So to finish up set 4, Daryl, Mike, and David.
David's first one's Obi right.
David's teeing it so low, he's picking balls off the ground right now. He's taking up some grass with that ball. That's about how high I'd tee a 5 wood.
Wow, the fact that you tee up a 5 wood doesn't surprise me at all, to be honest. You seem like that guy.
I'm not the most experienced golfer, so when I do hit a 5 wood off a tee box, I think like most people, they would tee it up.
Well, I know David came in at 334, and Mike came in at 325.
So David leading the set so far. Mobley just walked into this one with a smile on his face. I think he's getting ready to hit a good one right here.
I tell you, that cloud could not have come at a better time. Cloud came over and it dropped probably 5 degrees. It's
5
wonderful.
degrees.
So wonderful.
What do we got for standings?
All right, so David's currently sitting at 334, which is enough for first place right now. Mike actually upped that to 351. And then Mike Bauman, 325. And Daryl sitting at 290.
Oh, David likes that one. He said bingo, bango, bongo.
He's happy with it.
I think there was some "Give Me That Baby" in there.
He only said bingo, but I had the bango bongo because it was
351?
well hit.
David's going to take that one at 351. What do we have for numbers? Robbie?
Still waiting on Bongo. But 351 should be enough to get it done. Looks like Mike is coming in at 325 and Daryl at 290.
So David's going to take that one, I believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, come to the tee now for their fifth and final set. In slot 1, Jake Roman. In slot
Ooh,
377.
And slot 4, George Nagy.
377 from David Mobley on his bingo, bango, bongo.
That's a bingo bango bongo ball. That's all I gotta say.
Yes. 377 is a shot. All right. So Mobley's going to get 200 points for that, putting him at 600. Should be enough to advance through the next round. Coming up to the tee box now is going to be the 5th and final set. So here's where it all counts. Here's where things get interesting.
It's gonna get interesting, all right.
All right, Robbie. I know how good you are at math.
Who's also
What are
back
your
on set.
predictions? Ties?
Mobley coming in 377 yards. followed by
I don't know.
125.
There's a lot of different ways this one can play out.
Okay,
But it
so-
is looking like around 450 points is going to be the bubble. So we're still on pace for that one.
So this is something I haven't seen. In Group 1, Set 5, we have all ghosts.
Yeah. So that's how it works with the ghosts. They're all just going to get 0 points. It's a round robin. So if you've got 4 ghosts, then yeah, you will have a set with 4 ghosts,
16-man round robin format.
So
which
we
is
do-
fine because we just chalk it up as 0 points for everybody and we move on.
Right. So so Group 1 has already gone because they all got zeros. Group 2 is going to be Jay, Ernie, Daryl, and George.
Up now on the tee. Jay Gromick, Ernie Guimond.
We got 4 in the tee box.
Ooh, that was one of the better balls from Daryl I've seen. I like that. I think Daryl has picked up some confidence throughout the day. Jay over there, he's just smooth.
Very smooth swing.
Ball number 1 for Jay at 308
308 from Jay.
and 334 from George Nagy.
Why is it that lefties always just look better than righties? Every lefty swing just looks so much better than a righty swing. What's up with that?
It's because I can speak from personal experience here. It takes more talent to swing from that side of the golf ball. So
Okay. So,
shout out to all us lefties out there.
So it takes more talent, which in turn means you have to move your body more efficiently.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
More precisely, like a surgeon.
More precisely. So you might as well go get your medical degree, correct?
Well, my handwriting's bad enough that I could probably have a medical degree. But
That's how that works.
I don't know if my intelligence is high enough.
So right now we have George Nagy at 334. Ernie's best ball is 329. Looks like George just went up to 339. And Jay still at 308. Daryl has yet to put a mark on the board.
Daryl's going with the no
Daryl
hat.
puts a 380 in play.
Wow.
No, that's 300. Okay. Little 0 to an 8 difference.
I've never heard this song before. Is this from your era, Andy?
Was that a dig? Listen, Seamus has a lot of good music that he puts up for us. Some of that happens to be from my generation. And I'll just leave it at that.
George making it the cut there.
George is talking to that ball. Sometimes when you talk to balls, they listen. And
Sometimes.
they will do what you ask it to.
Mine always listens, and it does the opposite though.
Yeah, that's,
I don't know
that's
what
how
kind
it
of
works
balls
some
you're
days.
talking to, but mine never listen.
2, Eddie Fernandez. Slot 3, Mike Bowman. Slot 4, Anthony Livingston.
All right, so
So this round robin will be Jeff Gavin,
George takes that, which is going to give him
and David Mobley.
200 points, putting him at 750. So he's through to the next round.
He's absolutely in.
I don't know if there's going to be any drama. Who will pull up the scoreboard? here.
Well, we know Eddie's a lock.
I don't foresee any drama. 12 competitors in the field. The top 8 more than likely already set. The only person that could squeeze into the top 8 right now would be Chris McLean, and he would have to get a win.
So McLean needs a win here, you said.
Yeah, and that would put him at 450, and that would be, I would say, the bare minimum.
Well, let's see it, Chris. What you got?
So who's our top 8?
Currently, the top 8 is Eddie Fernandez, George Nagy, Jeff Gavin, David Mobley, Mike Bauman, Anthony Livingston, Bobby Peterson, and E.J. McDonald.
That's a good top 8 right there. That's going to be fun to watch. But it's not guaranteed. Chris could have a chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the tee now for their 5th and final set.
But it's going to be a hard one with Fast Eddie next to you in slot 2.
Eddie Fernandez, Mike Bowman, and Anthony Livingston. Gentlemen, that grid is clear. Fire
This
away.
is- Chris needs to win here, and yeah, it's going to be a tough one. This is a big tee box.
This is a very big tee box.
Yeah, this is a tough.
I kind of want to see some of these ball flights here. People are keeping it low today. I haven't seen big, high launch angles. It seems like people are trying to get that low launch angle so they get more run out of the ball. Is that about right, Robbie?
That does seem to be the case from what I've heard. I think Jeremy Nowak was one of the lower ball flights and sitting at 400 yards. So Eddie's sitting at 372 yards. It's the only ball in play so far.
I mean, anything over 370 is a darn good ball. During seniors, does Seamus try to play more music aimed towards the seniors?
You know, that is a very good question.
I feel like a lot of the music has been aimed towards them compared to what we hear in the open division.
So you think he has a seniors playlist?
A little known fact, DJ Seabass does take requests. So
So if you'd like to comment and hear a song, people, go ahead and comment
more
in.
so from, hey, can you play this song this set? And he's like, yeah, sure. Case by case basis.
That's good to know. That means I can get groovy tomorrow on the tee box.
You're going to enjoy getting groovy tomorrow, baby. What do you have for numbers here?
All right, so Mike Bauman coming in at 376 yards. Good enough for first place right now. Followed by Eddie's 372. Not sure if Anthony... Oh, 6 ball for Anthony, 331. And ball 5 for Chris McLean at 309.
So looks like we do not have a Cinderella story from Chris McLean.
No, sir, not this week. It appears that everything is going to be pretty cut and dry.
Eddie hit a good one on his last one. I'm surprised that came in at 0.
This round robin. In slot 1, Jeff Gavin. Slot 2, E.J. McDonald. Slot 3, Bobby Peterson.
You got to think the winning drive is going to be anywhere between 370 to 400 if Eddie continues to do what he's doing.
I'd like to think in the top 8 today, I'd like to think we're going to see a couple balls over 380 yards.
Yeah.
I think that's when guys really lock it in. If they get the jitters, it could be less than 380. But if they know how to control that breathing, control the blood flow, control the adrenaline, we could see some big balls.
Results of the last group. Mike Bowman coming
Definitely
up
some long drives are going to pop up. We know 380 is attainable.
372.
Depends on the wind. The wind can push it out to about 400. It seems like the wind's calmed down a little bit now, and we're back down to that 370, 380 number.
Yeah, those 400-yard drives we were seeing
We
earlier.
had some wind here
The
to push
wind
that
picked
ball
up, but they also played the wind and put it on the right side and let that thing roll.
Let's see who comes out on top of this one.
All right, let's set here. You can really see David Mobley envisioning his shot before he steps up to the ball.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. He's very systematical. Everything's the same. First on the board is EJ with 341 on his first ball.
That's a good first ball.
Yeah, sure. It gives you that confidence that you got one in there.
Yeah, got one in, and
Now you can.
that was winning some sets earlier.
Yeah. No, he seems pretty locked in right now. Minute 45 on the clock. Bobby Peterson's got his second ball on the grid at 332. DJ bumped up a couple at 349 on his second ball.
Bobby Pearson with the river pickle right there.
Y'all got some different river pickle?
River pickle. You never heard of a river pickle?
I can't say that I have, but
It's basically a low burner.
Copy that. Okay.
That could kill some pickles.
Listen, I'm trying to bring the amateur side of the sport.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what river pickle means, but whenever I hit one low, people tell me it's a river pickle. So
You just absorbed it as
a low burner.
a low burner. Okay. David at 339 on his second ball. Bobby's still at 332, and it looks like
Jeff just got what he wanted.
Jeff likes to yell, and I'm hoping
I believe
turns
it's an intimidation factor.
it could be. It definitely could be, but I don't see any numbers on the board yet, so we'll see how that turns out.
You don't often hear a first ball yell. It's
Right.
it's usually a third, fourth, fifth,
Third or
sixth
fourth.
ball yell.
The adrenaline's flowing. You're into it. So Jeff's got a 301 mark on his second ball. Right now, EJ is in the lead at 349. Bobby's got a 335, which is third to David's 339.
Ooh, Mobley hit a good one right there down the right side with a tight little draw to it. That one's going to roll for him.
So EJ takes that.
I don't know. Mobley hit a good one on his fifth ball. He didn't get his sixth ball off, but that fifth one was a good one. That could be over.
All right. So the outcome of this particular set doesn't really affect the
Overall outcome.
the final
of
eight.
the standings.
It does affect seeding going into the next round.
Sure.
But
How does
only-
that seating work exactly?
So you're ranked, and it
1 through 8.
splits you up. Yeah, 1 through 8, and so it's like
So it's 1 and 8, 2 and 7.
you have to ask Seamus, but yeah, it's split up like
I
that.
believe it's 1 and 8, 2 and 7. That's the first 4. Then the next 4 are 3 and 6, 4 and 5.
I think it's a little spaced out more than that.
It's different
So-
than that.
I think 1 and 8 are in the group 1 with like 3 and 5 or something. I don't know.
We
You have
are
to ask
announcers, but we don't know all the rules.
Yeah. All of that is a proprietary system ran by DJ Mannion underneath the PLDA tent there.
Proprietary.
Very proprietary.
We're very proprietary here at the PLDA.
All right, so that's what we're doing right now. Basically, is we're just getting the final tally of the score. I can pull that up for you.
Robbie, you got any good stories for us about any of these seniors?
I have plenty of good stories. The problem with these stories is I don't know if they should be known by the public or put out on the wire in a family-friendly stream. But
They're
all of these
all-
guys are
they're all-
characters, good guys.
They're all solid people, though.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
If you go shake their hand, they're the best people you can meet.
Here are the top 8
But that doesn't
players
mean
moving on.
we don't
All
like
right.
to get rowdy.
With 900
If anything, it means we really know how to have fun.
Gavin and Eddie Fernandez.
Good people having fun. I mean, I don't know how much better it gets than that.
Bowman. In fourth with 750 points, George Nagy.
So let's talk about this
With
top 8.
650 points, David Mobley. In sixth place,
Easily
550
Jeff and Eddie.
Anthony Livingston.
I'm surprised David's not,
Seventh,
a little higher up there.
525 points, EJ McDonald.
but it's good to see Mike and George hitting the ball well.
Bobby Peterson, 475 points.
And Bobby sneaks in at 475.
Yeah, so I was not Nostradamus today. It's like 475 instead of 450.
You said 450. I mean, listen, 475. Come on.
I was 25 points short.
I gave it to you.
One thing to make a note of, not a single OB set
By any of the hitters.
at all. Just keep that in mind.
You know,
So-
like we talked about earlier, the wind was pretty heavy, right, at the beginning of the match. And then as it got towards the end, it died down. And then that's when we started to see some of the bigger numbers. But still, for them to be able to control the ball in those, you know, I know we talked about earlier, the windy conditions, it's just impressive. It really is.
It's very impressive. You got to play with the wind. The wind's going to help you.
You got to play the conditions, but to be able to, you know, put all of your balls in play, these guys are talented.
OB sets are what really hurt people.
Sure,
It
no
can,
marks.
It can be the determining factor of whether you get into the top 8 or not. Today it wasn't, but most days it absolutely is.
Yeah, an OB set today in the senior division is detrimental.
Detrimental.
Absolutely detrimental. Because
You would absolutely get yourself out of it.
I know Canada was a little tough with the conditions there in the grid. It was a little tough to get balls in play sometimes, so there was a lot of OB sets, which happens from time to time. But when everybody's going OB, it's okay to go OB every once in a while. But when nobody goes OB and one person goes OB,
Yeah, you don't want to be that person.
for obvious reasons, is absolutely detrimental to the score. But 475 got it done. And now we're just seeding things out, giving the guys a break, and then we'll
Let's
bring
talk
it back
about
out here.
Let's talk about this, right?
'Kay.
The transition time, right? In between sets, okay, you made it. You're in the top 8. Bobby Peterson is doing absolutely what he wants to do and just sit down and relax and have a good time. But the other players, they've been here before. They're seniors. Are they resting? Are they swinging?
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think you want to rest for a minute just so you can feel your best when you come out for the top 8.
Sure.
But they're absolutely going to take some swings to make sure they have the ball flight they want coming onto the tee box.
Yeah, one of
Yep,
the
Jeff's hitting now.
one of the most important things to keep in mind when at a long drive event is staying loose. And if you do allow your body to tighten up, you got to make sure it's at the right times, which really so it really helps to know like pairings and things like that, what group you're hitting in. We tend to flow fairly quickly, turning every set about once every 5 to 6 minutes, so it does have its own rhythm to it. And keeping that in mind and managing not only your endurance, but you know the integrity of your muscles throughout all of this is very important.
Personally, I think it'd be a great idea to go shotgun maybe a Red Bull or a Monster to really get that adrenaline spike when you hop onto the tee box. But that's not for everyone. They might be shotgunning a water or two. Maybe a power bar. A lot of guys on competition day, they don't eat as much as usual. So they're going to go get that little snack in, maybe a protein bar, some Cheez-Its, or the classic beef jerky.
Yeah, see, I was never an eater in the middle of competition. I couldn't do it. If I would use that as an excuse, because you know at the end of every event I would always look for some excuse, right? Well, food was the go-to, so to cut that out, I would eat like maybe 2 crackers during the competition. A cheeseburger would ruin my day. Absolutely ruin it.
There's got to be some play when it comes to the food and nutrition for the for these players. I mean, what do you eat before? I mean, do you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm gonna carbo load the night before.
Lobster,
Lobster, bread or pasta.
linguica,
Hecka linguiqua.
Chicken palm.
chicken palm. No, I got to think as a player, you have to have the endurance to be able to last, right, for these matches. I mean,
And endurance is everything if you're trying to win these competitions.
fish and chips isn't going to cut it the night before.
No, if you're getting tired throughout the competition, it's not very good.
All right, let's
so
go.
Who we got here?
Slot 1, Eddie Fernandez. Slot 2, George Nagy. Slot 3 is David Mobley. And in slot 4, Bobby Peterson.
People are liking Eddie's first ball.
smiling. He liked that one. Looked at the crowd, said, "Yes, I appreciate that."
Ooh, good one from Bobby there. That one's gonna roll, brother. It's still rolling. It's still rolling. It just stopped rolling. Oh, an even better one from Bobby there. That one's going to take the hill and roll some more.
Still waiting on that callback for Eddie. No marks on the board so far.
387 for Eddie
There
on
it
the
is.
first ball. There it is.
Mobley almost hit a bird. What happens if someone hits a bird midair?
It's,
We don't.
very unfortunate.
We don't condone the
We
hurting
don't condone animal cruelty.
animal cruelty or.
but it could
Innocent
happen.
bystanders sometimes, circle of life. Look like Eddie got a hold of one of those, this third ball.
387 from Eddie. That's a pretty darn good first ball. And he's only going to start swinging harder. Bobby's taking in the conditions, seeing which shot he's about to hit.
Bobby knows how to pace himself. Can he hit 387?
I would.
Oh, that is
Count it
a
out.
good one from Bobby.
It's definitely going to take a really good stroke.
Gotta
I
be
would say
loose.
at least 130 miles an hour.
Well, Mobley just put up 372, so it's getting windy again.
It's getting windy. That means people need to hit their ball now.
It's good.
It's crazy how it can change in the middle of the
No,
set.
it literally
At the beginning of the
changed really
set,
quick.
there was absolutely no
Some bigger
wind.
numbers here. This might help Eddie get back to 400 again. Got about 10 seconds, 14 seconds left. He's got to. He got it off, but I don't think it's going to make it.
So Mobley hit all 6 balls there, something you don't always see.
So as it currently sits, Eddie at 387, moving on. And then it looks like David Mobley with a 372.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Big ball from Eddie
411.
Fernandez.
Wow.
411 yards.
Longest ball of the day.
He's got what? 3 of the longest balls of the day?
He
Yeah.
does, yes.
He went 402,
402, 405,
405,
and 411.
and now 411.
411.
That's insane.
All right. And then a 358 from Bobby Peterson for third place and 335 for George Nagy.
So Eddie's actually competing in the open division as well tomorrow. He
I don't know if he starts putting numbers up like that.
he's not saving it for tomorrow, that's for
Nope.
sure. He's trying to get a W today.
Ladies and gentlemen, somebody better go find Chris Cody. We are getting closer and closer to that $1,000 grand prize. If you put it out the back at 430, 411 yards. Eddie Fernandez, new longest drive of the day.
So $1,000 from the host goes to the first player that puts it
In the field.
in the field,
Followed by David
Out the back of the grid.
which is 433.
358.
Somewhere roughly.
335.
So 4 to 5 match the long drive. 496 from Josh. And I think more
Colorado,
companies should get involved in stuff like this.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Get your name out here.
get your name out here, sponsor a long drive event, $500. I mean, that's nothing.
I mean, your name's all over the place.
You get your name out here. You get a little bit.
50 million views on YouTube, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen. The sport's going somewhere, right? So take advantage of the opportunity. Spend a couple $100 on these guys. They deserve it.
These guys work hard. There's no doubt about it. They sacrifice a lot of time to this sport so that they can come out and be the best.
Yep. Here we go.
All right, who we got here in the
group
next
of
4?
Jeff Gavin. Slot 1. Slot 2.
Mike Bauman in slot 2, Anthony
Mike,
Livingston in slot 3, and EJ McDonald here in slot
Gotcha.
4.
I've got my pick as Jeff Gavin on this one.
You going with Jeff?
Yeah,
I'm going with Jeff.
really
Jeff's a good bet.
sticking your neck out on that one.
I mean, Eddie just hit one 411 from that slot. I think he's looking for one over 400 yards here.
351, Mike Bauman, first one on the board. EJ and Anthony. So EJ, 355. Currently enough for first right now. Still waiting on Anthony.
I think we're going to see a 380, 370 right around here. Doesn't seem like the wind's blowing much as it was before.
We've got some adrenaline going in these guys.
Yeah, everyone's
They're-
trying to calm
they're
themselves
breathing.
down. Yep.
They're breathing, trying to calm themselves
Yep.
down.
The momentum's definitely, the adrenaline's flowing. How do you calm yourself down in this kind of situation? I mean,
Breathing techniques.
yeah.
Nope, that's all there is to it. That's
Breathe.
about the only thing you
Just
can
got
do
to
out
keep
there.
breathing.
Ooh, EJ, 369. Whew.
Okay.
Up in the bar.
380. 380 is the winning number.
Ooh, 368, Anthony Livingston.
And he can hit a good ball. That's for sure.
EJ yelling at it to stay. Like I was saying.
So 2 longest so far, 368, 369. We're going to see if someone can surpass that.
Gavin, 20 seconds to get one in play. And 1 yard. Currently separating slots 3 and 4. Anthony Livingston
gonna
and
talk
EJ
about-
McDonald.
Oh,
There's your tee box
1
lineup.
yard. Gavin, OB. Oh, wow. Unfortunate.
I did not see that coming.
Listen, you can't do that. You picked Jeff Gavin, and he just OB'd.
Because he's the man.
I understand that.
He's a Canadian
We're not going to
champion.
blame it entirely on
It's
you,
not going to be
Sean,
all your fault.
but it's mostly your fault.
100%. You had a lot to do with it.
Jeff, I'd like to formally make an apology.
You can't pick guys before the event.
All right.
I like picking guys before the event.
So with that,
What do you got?
EJ McDonald and Anthony Livingston move on to the Final Four.
Listen, there's your yard in the tee box, man. I'm telling you.
True.
Right?
Not in this case, though, because both these are
They were
very,
both teed up. They were
very
both teed
seasoned
up
players.
equally. Yes, I agree. Comes down to the last yard, the last inch.
So it will be EJ and Anthony.
Correct. Moving on to Final Four.
Final 4.
I'm excited for this Final Four.
Quick transition time while we take a TV timeout.
TV timeout.
Listen, I can make stuff up as I go.
Yeah.
I listen. I've watched half the guys that have been on this show or this event, and I can say anything I want.
Really?
No, but pretty close to it,
True.
right?
Yeah.
This
You only have
commercial-
to worry about the producers, banning you from the show.
Exactly.
And I heard the head producer is a real stickler. Him and his curly hair and
his
weird
long
face.
curly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looked like he got abused yesterday.
I heard he just tries to copy Kyle Berkshire, and
Really? Is that what you
Kyle's in
heard?
the house. I saw Kyle swinging down there. Per usual, white pants.
Oh, yeah, he's rocking the traditional white pants.
White pants tradition.
I believe we'll see him in a red T-shirt tomorrow. Is that correct?
I wouldn't
you
be
got
surprised.
Some of the other big guns in the house. Martin's hanging out with Josh, Ryan Gregnall.
You know, I actually saw Berkshire wearing black pants the other day. It was really weird.
Did you say white?
Black.
Black?
You
Yeah,
did
he was
say
wearing-
white.
Wow.
You did say white, but I understand what you meant. Black.
Do you not see that often?
No,
He does not
Kyle
wear-
never wears black pants.
I believe white
In slot 4,
shows
EJ McDonald.
a little bit more than black, correct?
What?
Like I believe
Like
that,
reflection-wise? Like, what do you mean?
if you're trying to show parts of your body, I
Such
believe-
as like calves
such as calves
or ankles?
or ankles,
Quads, hammies. We'll
quads,
just leave it at,
hammies,
yeah, there we go.
gluteus
mostimus.
maximus.
I know Kyle did mention one time he was a little self-conscious about his legs.
You know, I would kill to have calves like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Calves, you say?
Calves.
He is a member of the calf gang. For sure.
Calf gang.
All right, gentlemen. Looks like we have our last 4.
We do. Final
Pretty
four
strong
coming
group
up.
here. Here we go.
Eddie Fernandez in slot 1, Anthony Livingston in slot 2, David Mobley in slot 3, and EJ McDonald back in slot 4.
You know, I think this is where David comes in.
You can't.
This is
cannot
where I think
count
the
him
breathing
out, for
comes
sure.
in. Anthony's got a great swing.
This,
Obviously, Eddie's putting some big balls out. Let's see what happens here.
I don't even want to try to be Nostradamus
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
not
like,
guessing. I'm just saying.
like,
You
I have no
forced
idea.
All the players here. Let's
this could go anyway.
some big numbers, and just relax. I just love the fact that Seamus puts up great music.
All right.
I don't
Couple
think
OBs.
I don't think too many people like their first ball.
No.
Nope.
Couple OBs.
There's a reason why.
No.
We got some OBs.
And
Let's
he
hear
hit
the
a good one
screams.
there. And he's going to be right in the right side on that one.
We don't hear any screams yet, so I'm a little surprised.
Wonderful. Get to hear any loud bingos.
Nope. Okay, who's first?
359, Anthony Livingston, first on the board.
The people like that one from Eddie.
Yeah.
Now, Eddie will let you know.
All right, so a couple 359s currently. Wow,
Eddie's
385.
Yeah, and he just stepped into one.
I
That
What'd you think? Did
That's
that
a
one go?
400. That's a
that one went over
400.
385 for sure. The people like that one more than the first one they yelled at.
Wow, and a 351.
Look, he's been on
DJ.
fire all day, so essentially what we're looking for is second place.
That's bold, very bold.
No, I'm calling it as I see it. Attack me later.
388.
388.
Oh, Anthony took a little step at that one. He's
Yep.
trying to get into it.
All right, 25 seconds.
So currently we have a tie in second place. We may be getting some measurements after this is all done.
We may actually see a little drama.
David's got 6 seconds to put this ball in play. 3.
I don't think EJ's going to get this off.
Oh, and he gets it
2
in.
seconds. Yeah.
No, that ball does not count.
Nobody get it off.
That last ball
Tell you
does
that
not count.
T-box really hard. Looks like EJ was struggling to get one teed up there at the end.
I mean that's tough when you can't tee a ball into the ground and you're just wasting seconds that you need to be using to your advantage.
Yep.
Two and a half minutes seems like a long time, but while you're up there, it dwindles quickly.
It's funny what that 2 minutes and 30 seconds will do to somebody, too.
Right. Looks like we're waiting for a measurement for those 2 359s. Ryan's calling it in now.
Yep, we're going to have to bring out the tape for that one.
So 351, biggest ball from EJ. I don't think that's going to be enough to do anything for him. 351 's still a good ball though. But when you get down to top 4 like this, you gotta be
You got to be in the 380s.
in the 380s. So Eddie with only 388 there. We thought he was going to get a bigger one than
I
that.
thought he had a 400.
I mean, he went 385 and then 388. That's still pretty impressive with the wind dying down as much as it has compared to what it was doing earlier. Still waiting on these measurements.
The workers are still in the grid.
Sometimes they take a minute. They're trying to be as precise as possible, especially when it comes down to times like these in the top 4.
Not that it matters in terms of proximity to the sides, but the balls that they are measuring both happen to be dead center of the grid.
That's pretty cool. So what do you think? If they put it on the right side of the grid there, you think it's farther?
I would say so, just because of the way it's sloped. There's a little bit of a heel there on the right side.
It very possibly could have started on the right side and fell down the slope to the middle.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a drive of 388 yards, Eddie Fernandez moves on to the final for the championship.
So Eddie's going to the final.
We have a tie for second place.
Ooh, drama.
We got the drama going here. We got Anthony Livingston at 359, David Mobley at 359.
They're legit 359, 359.
So they're going to have a playoff here.
It's an official tie.
Yes.
Like
6 inches.
6 inches or
Within
less.
6 inches.
6
of each
inches determines a tie.
I will
balls
say
are within
I've
6
been
inches of each
booted
other.
out of a competition at 7 inches. It
It's
was in-
heartbreaking. I've seen it before.
Oh, yeah, it was in Memphis.
Yep.
Colton Casto hit one 7 inches further than me. I thought it was going to be a tie, headed into a playoff, and absolutely broke my heart.
But you've rebounded and you're stronger than you were before because
right.
of it.
What
Right.
doesn't kill you make you stronger.
You have to fail to succeed, kids.
6-ball playoff, 2.5 minutes.
All right.
So we got a 6-ball set here.
Six balls, yep.
playoff.
6-ball, 2.5-minute tiebreaker. Longest ball wins. If they tie again, then they'll do it all over again. I'd say if they went out of bounds, they do it all over again, but I highly
3
doubt
more.
that's going to happen.
Both go in the event that both go over.
Well,
You'll probably go
still,
3 balls.
You know, so let me ask you this. These guys are going to hit another 6 balls before they have to even get to the finals.
Correct.
Why not make it 3?
What do you mean?
Make
3
it
what?
3 balls.
Because this is for, advancement, all right?
I get
Like
it.
losers out of the tournament. We don't want 3 balls. We want 6 balls.
That's true. In the PGA, they only play 1 more hole instead of 18 more holes for a tiebreaker. Unless what? They keep tying?
Majors, I believe.
Oh, major
Or
champ.
they probably won't do it anymore, but I know they used to.
Tiebreaker up now, Anthony Livingston, David Mobley looking to move on to the championship match.
Both gentlemen showing good sportsmanship.
Fire away.
David getting the
All right,
crowd
here we go.
riled up. Anthony's going to go first. He's really extending and reaching for that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
He had a line drive. I think he tries to put his first ball in play all the time.
Oh, yeah. Anthony's a guy that's just going to put balls in play. So is David Mobley. So we're going to see some balls in play this set.
That's not a full swing from David.
No, he's just putting it in there. Like I said, you can optimize and hit a ball further at lower speeds than you can at faster speeds if you don't hit the center of the face.
Right.
Very sound logic from Sean John.
I'm very insightful, my people.
It's just like my advice to you when you first came to the OSPS. I said, if you hit it past everybody, every time you go up to the tee, you'll probably win.
I can hit it past people and it can go OB though.
Well,
I
I don't.
told you
I
that.
don't count balls that go OB. So
Anthony's
sorry, my
trying to hug
standards
the
are a little
line.
bit higher.
Do we have marks yet?
So the live scoring system does not allow for improvised sets such as ties.
So we're going off of.
So we are having to anticipate.
People like
And
Anthony's ball right there. He
We
hit
can
a
make
good
up
one.
numbers if we want to. We can say that Mobley's sitting at 537 yards, and
538 possibly.
and
I haven't seen the reaction from Mobley that I usually see.
No bingos yet. No bingo, bango, bongo.
Anthony,
But he's a guy that knows when he gets into one, and he's going to yell
well,
at it
he'll
if he
make the
does.
last ball count. That's for sure.
He's got to hit all 6 here, you think?
If there's a ball to be hit, you can't count them out.
I doubt it. A little low on time for number 6.
Yeah,
but
he's
we'll
low
see.
on time. He's going to have to tee that 6 ball up pretty quick. Yeah, he'll get it off.
He did a clock check. Anthony looked like he hit his last ball. David's just going to.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get it off.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
he
yeah.
got that off.
Plenty of
just
time.
in
And he
time.
put something into it, too.
I don't know if he
Let's see.
liked it or not.
I think he did. He gave it a little fist pump.
All right. Fist pumps are good things.
I don't know if that was a fist pump or my hand hurt.
All right, again, that was a playoff to see who moves on to the finals to face Eddie Fernandez.
Who's just crushed the ball today.
Well, they call him Fast Eddie for a reason.
Well,
That's
I
right.
understand that. I understand.
Because he's fast.
That
Very
that would
fast.
make a lot of
Eddie's Eddie.
sense. I would call him the hare, but I think he's wiser than a hare. A rabbit?
Okay, yeah,
Yes,
rabbit.
a rabbit
Yeah.
hare.
Yes.
Okay.
We saw where you were going
Yeah.
with that. No,
We'll go with that.
Robbie didn't, but I think you did, Andy.
Yeah, but nobody wants to be the hare, right? Because didn't the hare lose?
That is correct.
They
You
lost to the
gotta have
tortoise.
a hard shell like a turtle,
Yes. Slow and
but
steady.
still be as fast as a hare.
So it looks like we have David and Eddie in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, results from the playoff.
All right, so David Mobley,
363 yards.
363.
Wow. David Mobley moving on with 363.
Wow.
I think that fist bump was a good fist bump.
Yeah.
That was his last ball.
I believe so, yeah. The one he was actually short on time.
Yeah, I
Well, it
think
was funny because you could tell in his swing, very systematic, like we talked about. All first 5 balls. The last one, you could tell he wound up on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Just let it go.
he knew.
Yep.
He knew what he was doing.
He did. Like a trained professional.
These are professionals.
Professional long drivers.
All right, good. I was a little confused as to why they were in 2 and 3, but they are moving David to slot 1. Very glad. Very glad.
All right, so moving on to the finals.
This is it. It's for all the marbles, man.
All the marbles. There's not a marble left.
It's all on the table right now. Who's got the better cards?
Any more cliches?
More cliches.
May the faster man win.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Will that be the case, though? 'Cause I can go ahead and tell you right now, Eddie's faster.
Eddie is faster.
It's got to be accurate, though.
You just can't.
Does
you just
does
can't
Mobley
bet against
have more,
Mobley.
Does Mobley
Doesn't
have more
make any sense.
championships?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
So
Just-
experience, I give it to Mobley. Speed absolutely goes to Eddie.
I think based off the way they're both swinging today, Eddie's going to take it. That's my pick.
Eddie has hit the ball well.
Your
today.
predictions, Eddie?
I got to take it.
That wind's picking up.
Ballers ready?
Plus, he's wearing Jordans.
Are you ready?
That's straight down wind, by the way.
Ready? Let's hear it for these guys up now for this
It's probably about
championship.
5 miles an hour. Straight
This
down wind right now.
crowd is
Eddie
lit.
Fernandez. Gentlemen, that grid is clear. Final lane.
Eddie's pumped right now.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the blood just flowing through those veins.
First ball is a bomb.
People like the first ball.
385.
We got some people yelling for Mobley there. This is the day they came to get down, you guys.
Yes, indeed. No reaction.
It's got a little different sound to Eddie's club.
Doesn't have your typical doink.
Some clubs you can get hotter than others. Like once you
Little
get it
tiny,
hot, it starts to make a different sound.
So they're not indestructible. The clubs do wear out over time.
This wind's blowing.
Yeah, I think it might change. Yeah, but it's more right to left.
Yeah.
I don't think it's blowing out as much.
Yeah, but I think if you hit that draw on the right side, Eddie
Yeah.
might be able to put one out of the grid.
That would be interesting to see. .388.
Oh,
He's on the board at 388.
388. I think
We're
that
waiting
one
to
was
see
bigger
where
than
that one comes
388.
in at.
That one's bigger than 388. I'm telling you.
Still waiting on a mark from Mobley.
Eddie's gritting those teeth right now. I feel like we got. I feel like we've got.
flip.
He just did a bad flip.
We've
threw
got
his-
two
flip.
completely different personalities on the tee box right now. Eddie's a guy that is getting hyped. Mobley's a guy that's going to try and keep his cool and
The
stay
silent
with it.
assassin.
Yes, the silent assassin.
It's Mobley at 364, excuse me. Mobley's fourth ball.
Oh,
There's the
he likes
reaction.
that one.
Man, he comes in at the last minute. I
I
love
know
it.
it.
I love it.
I
I
know
So
love
it.
Eddie's fourth. Came
Is
in
he
at
going to get this
369.
ball off?
What?
Yeah,
Mobley's got to
Eddie's
get this
fourth
ball off. Ah, he said.
Oh, what did
he
Mobley
said
get?
Too bad. He couldn't tee it up.
He's not going to get number 6 off, so it's all on that number 5. Is it 389?
All right, they're going to hug it out.
No, it's not.
Hug it out.
353.
Gentlemen.
Eddie Fernandez taking it home.
Eddie takes it home.
Bombs
Wow.
and bombshells, baby.
Yep. Well, fellas, that's going to do it for the senior division. I really appreciate you guys being here in the booth with me.
Thanks for having us,
Yeah,
buddy.
thank you for
Sean
having us.
John, the big man.
Andy
and
Gregoire.
Andy Gregoire. Fortify
45.
Communications.
Hey, if anyone needs
Communi-
primary or
communi-
backup internet, Fortify's the place to go. Right?
Check him out.
Check us out, fortify.com.
He'll get you
Pri-
connected.
Primary internet, backup internet.
I like that.
Um,
We'll get you connected.
We'll get you connected one device at a time.
That's it.
Thanks,
Well,
everybody.
We're going to shut it down, folks. We're going to be right back here in the next 30 minutes. I believe we start the ladies' division at 4 o'clock. So stay tuned. We'll see you then.
Later, everybody.